What's up with everybody? It's your man Moyo B, and we're back at it with some more reaction videos. What if Hitler had won? What if he won? How the world would have turned out? Can you imagine?
I don't want to think about it, really.
Horrible,
Probably
man.
would be horrible.
Because the guy was horrible. He done some horrible stuff to people.
I mean, you probably wouldn't even be here. It'd probably be nothing but white people. The Aryan race. I mean, that's what he wanted. He wanted the Aryan race to take over, and he wanted to get rid of all other races and disabilities, everything.
Well, that's why he didn't win. That was impossible for him to even win something like that.
I don't think anyone was going to let someone like that take over.
Yeah, the world. Right. Yeah. Also, if you want to support our channel, check out the links in our description. Leave your video suggestions at Streamlabs. It's going to be in our cards, YouTube cards, description, end of the video. But we're going to dive right into it.
World War II, the largest and most costly war in all of human history, is still within living memory of some of us around the world, and the fallout of this massive conflict is still visible 70 years after the event. The aftermath of the war gave rise to a massive displacement and migration of citizens in Europe. In a modern world where it's difficult to establish just who are the good guys and who are the bad guys, the Second World War leaves little in the way of ambiguity. A madman set to take over the world had to be stopped by a morally responsible world stage. Fortunately, Germany was stopped. But in today's episode of the Infographic Show, we ask, what if Hitler had won World War II? This must be one of the biggest what-ifs in history, and had Germany not made the double error of first invading the Soviet Union and then declaring war on the USA, we might have been living in a world where the Nazis had been the victors. The citizens of the Soviet Union were the ones who paid the dearest for the Allied victory, and if it were not for their determination and resistance, we may well be speaking German and chomping on bratwurst right now. But for this to have happened, we need to factor in a number of variables and reverse engineer a scenario that gives Hitler and Germany a good fighting chance of winning the war. For Hitler to have declared...
So let's say if he would have won a war, he would have been like old right now. He would have been.
He probably wouldn't still be alive now.
Yeah,
because if this was like early 40s,
he's born 1800s,
already
right?
Been like, huh?
He's born 1800s. Hitler.
I think I don't remember. When.
I don't know. He could have either. If he wasn't born in 1800s, he was born at least in the early 1900s. Right. So he would have been old. So he would have passed.
Right. There's no way he'd still be alive now.
Yeah, but he would have probably raised up people.
Right. You know. I mean, maybe even if he had won. His reign may have only continued, that heinous reign may have only continued for another 20 years.
Unless he had a son or whatever, and they would have kept it son dictatorship and all that type of stuff. But
I still think at some point the rest of the powers would have
they would have they would have been like Alexander the Great.
Forever.
No, Alexander the Great, once he died, his kingdom split up into four. Yeah, exactly. It would have been like that probably.
Yeah.
Victory, he would have had to have gained a lot more land than he had. The likelihood of Great Britain and the United States ceding their territory is very slim. Yet it is possible that some kind of ceasefire would have occurred whereby Germany would have temporary control over the Allied nations. Hitler was, by some accounts, terrified of the United States becoming part of the Allied forces, having, as they did, large resources and being as far away as they were. Capturing land across the oceans would have been unlikely. Instead, the USA would have had to agree to become passive in the conflict, leaving Germany to have its way with Europe. It would have had to have made economic sense for the USA to continue to do deals with a German-led Europe rather than the individual countries. Germany would keep the countries it conquered, including France and Poland, and Italy would continue to be a German ally. Spain and Portugal would find themselves aligned with Germany, and Switzerland would remain neutral. For Germany to have won the Second World War, they would have had to have given up their ambitions to take the Soviet Union. However, Stalin was not going to stay quiet, so some kind of peace deal would have had to be brokered between the Soviets and Germany if Hitler were to win the war. Likewise, Germany would have had to have abandoned its plans to take Japan, and being so far away, there would be no real reason to pursue the East once they'd taken the lion's share of Europe. In short, a lot of the bigger players on the world stage would have had a reason to let Germany carry on with its ambitions. This lack of interference would itself be morally wrong, considering the Nazis' attempt to exterminate entire sections of the population, such as Jews and other so-called undesirables.
Sorry guys, it keeps stopping. I'm gonna bring it down to quality. Sorry about that.
Like gay people, the mentally ill, Romani, etc. So if the Germans had won the Second World War and were allowed to continue their ethnic cleansing, we would now be living in a world where inside the Greater German Reich, these people would have been eliminated. American science fiction writer Philip K. Dick in 1962 wrote one of the first alternate history novels to look at what would happen. In his book, Nazi Germany, Italy, and Japan have won the war, and the world is divided between them in blocks. The Empire of Japan includes all of Greater East Asia, with the United States divided between the Japanese puppet Pacific States of America and the Rocky Mountain States, a Nazi puppet state of the USA. Canada avoids occupation in this scenario, despite being part of the British Empire and being at war with the Nazis from the start. With the USA having obtained nuclear capability by 1945, Nazi Germany would have been desperate to find their own weapons of mass destruction. Nazism may have been discovered by its own people to be inherently evil and be overthrown from within. The truth is, we will never know just how the world would have panned out, because there are simply too many variables to take into consideration. It is safe to say that the victory would probably be short-lived, as the Allies decided once again that the right thing to do would have been to remove Hitler from the world.
Just like you said, it would have been short-lived. He would have got a couple things accomplished, and after he passed, or even 20 years, whatever, it just would have everything would have broken down. Yeah,
that's what he's saying. For it to have even happened for him to win, the Allies would have had to have come to conclusion okay, it's more beneficial for me to let these atrocities go and just make a deal.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then in 10 years, it doesn't mean they're not going to go, okay, we can't keep letting this happen.
Yeah.
Change their mind or whatever.
A new generation will rise up.
Right. Exactly.
When they stand it or whatever. So yeah, man, that's why I kind of think the same thing. And even if he would have won, I mean, he would have Germany would never stayed in power, to this day now.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, I don't think so either.
Stage once and for all. So, what do you think would have happened if Hitler and Germany won the Second World War? Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to watch our other video called The Top 10 Dumbest Reasons People Were Arrested and Thrown in Jail. Thanks for
man.
I can't stop laughing at that picture.
Yeah, woman with a booty out and stuff, cartoon booty. Shit, look at me.
She probably got put in jail for twerking.
Probably so. Oh man.
No twerking in public.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways.
Yeah, man, but too many variables, man. Never know what would have happened. Like you said, you think he would have maybe had a short lived, maybe 10, 20 years.
If that much. I don't even think it would have been that long, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a couple years. I think it would have been maybe 5.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe 10, because I think, as he said, I think the Allies have been okay, fine, we'll make this deal with you. But then I think after a couple more years, I think people would be...
Got tired of them, really.
Right, and I think people would be, rising up against their governments to be this isn't okay, we need to do something.
Yeah.
So I think they'd have to do something about it.
Yeah, man, the problem is, when you have... It's already bad enough, in other countries, people try to rise up against their own governments, but you trying to take on the whole world. You got all these different countries, they don't like you, but they're going to rise up against you.
I know.
And
you can't beat all the countries.
Yeah, you can't beat all of them. Yeah, man. You just can't do it.
Do that one.
Unless you got the most advanced technology and they still got some trash weapons or they bows and arrows, you ain't finna win, man. Yeah. So yeah, man. He would have died. Because he probably was in his 30s and 40s, man.
I think he was already.
Yeah, he probably was in his 40s, so he would.
And that's why I think they said too. I mean, not just that, but like you were saying, the only way he even could have won was for countries like United States and Soviet Union to be okay, we'll sign this peace agreement with you because of XYZ, not because they would have won from their fighting abilities or mass destruction or whatnot. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that boy was a bad boy, man. Bad boy, man. He
was sick.
He ain't like gays. He ain't like people with disabilities.
He pretty much didn't like anybody that wasn't pure white.
Yeah.
And Christian.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think he was a Christian.
Didn't he even go against the Catholics at first?
Yeah.
So I thought he was Christian, but it wasn't Catholic.
There's so many reports that people say he's atheist. He was atheist.
He
became atheist and stuff like that.
Huh.
So
but
I don't really know.
Jews, and at first, he went against the Catholic faith, but then he kind of let it go.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like blacks.
No.
Didn't like, what was I gonna say? Gays, like you said.
Yeah.
He didn't like disabilities either. He'd go after mentally retarded people too.
Yeah, this dude is a cold-hearted boy. So I don't know, man. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. It was crazy for sure. I mean, but we watched his history, his growing up, and I think he got so much hatred from his upbringing that he just took that into full force.
Yeah, I think that's what he did. His father was
he was just kind of manipulated and sick.
But his father was trash, man.
It's true.
He was trash.
Or was it his No, it was his father.
It is that. But yeah, man, great video, man. It's crazy just to think about it.
To think about it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But we about to go to end this video. If you want to support our channel, make sure to check out our Streamlabs. You can support us there by leaving us a video suggestion.
Also, check out our new vlog channel. The link will be down in our description.
Subscribe to this channel.
And thumbs up the video.
Turn on notifications. It's your man Moya B.
And Nicole.
We're gonna catch you on the next video. Awesome. Peace and love, baby.